So my question to you is, are you ready to take your show on the road? You have your marketing materials, check. You have quality business cards, check. You have informative brochures, check. And you have your display, right? Are those crickets that I just heard? Remember, you can only make a first impression once. Did you know that you have less than 4 seconds to attract someone? And it doesn't mean if you're at a trade show, if you're at an exhibit hall, or if you're advertising in a shopping center. You literally have less than 4 seconds. Prospective customers are actually viewing you from up to 25 to 30 feet away. When people walk into a trade show, they have that tendency of scanning the room. They're looking for either people they know or businesses they want to get in touch with. Because the bottom line is people buy from people they know and people they like. First thing people notice subconsciously when they enter a room is actually the floor. It's one of the reasons why floor graphics are so effective. And people don't read. They look eye level and down. So the next time you're out, even in a shopping center or wherever, really take note of that. You very rarely see people walking around looking like this. You know, they all look eye level or down. So take advantage of those things. I created a self-contained modular marketing display that you can use at trade shows, business expos, chamber events, or even if you choose to advertise in a shopping center. I believe that your display should take you places and you should be able to take it places. If you're going to invest in something, I really believe you need to invest in it and get your money's worth out of it by using it year-round, not just once or twice a year. Because if you don't invest in your company and yourself, who will? Honestly, if you don't take that initiative to look professional, they're not going to look at you as being professional either. Bottom line, time is money, and you really need to make your time worth it. So that your next step involves the fact that you have to pay to exhibit at a show. And that includes your time. Your prep time in being there, setting up, taking down. You know, all that is your time. And many times businesses, especially small businesses, sometimes it's 1 or 2 people. And a lot of times starting out, it's one person. And you are president and janitor all in one. So when you're there setting up and taking an hour or whatever to set up, you're not making money, bottom line, when you're doing that. So you really need something that's lightweight, easy, interchangeable, and can go up in a matter of minutes. You need to buy quality business cards, brochures, and a display. Spend the most amount of money you can afford and build upon it. You really do get what you put into it. If you feel you must use a table and chairs that are typically provided at different trade shows and exhibits, you know what, don't stand behind them and act like you don't want to be there. Because honestly, your display is only half of your presentation and only half of your image. And more often than not, I see too many people either standing behind or in front and on their smartphones, or heaven forbid you make eye contact. You know, that's your image, and you're there to present a pretty good impression. I also believe that you should be having a display that actually is like a sculpture. It's interesting from all sides. That way, if somebody is seeing it from the back, there's nothing more distracting than seeing the back of an unfinished display. Not everybody has the pipe and drape and everything. Why not take advantage of putting some fabulous graphic or your logo or website on the back of it? And always be ready to go at any given time. The biggest mistake a lot of companies make, large or small, is that last minute prep. You know what, oh gosh, we have that thing tomorrow. Well, we just better just throw something together. Well, being ill-prepared, I really believe, makes for a lack of a really great first impression. The next thing is you really have to be honest with yourself. And sending the wrong person to represent your company, and sometimes that can actually be you, the owner. And when I say you need to be a people person, and I don't just mean, you know, comfortable with people, I mean, you can't just build it and they will come. You actually have to make that eye contact with people, say hi, how you doing? Gee, have you ever heard of? It's MuD, actually, not MuD, hence the umlauts. My dad was actually Austrian-German descent, and he helped me build my first prototype while I cared for him. I kind of engaged you there, didn't I? Didn't you kind of want to learn a little bit more? It's simple as that. But if you are not that person, just be honest and find somebody who is. If you don't invest in yourself, you know, honestly, this says you don't care. And what that tells somebody is that you're really not going to care about them either as their customer. Again, it's that first impression, and there's nothing more annoying for me personally than to see a handwritten sign and the tape on top of it. Know who you are. So who do you guys think this is? Just anybody?
This is Lifetime.
Well, you would think so, right? I mean, they do have it on the table, skirt, and everything. This is actually a client of mine, and no, it is not Lifetime Fitness. It is actually Woodbury Dental Care, and the only way you would know that is Sandy, who's a wonderful person, has a WDC t-shirt on. She actually sent this photo to me while we were in the process of building their new modular marketing display. They had this great opportunity with Lifetime Fitness to utilize a space at their club in Woodbury and actually talk to their members about many different products they use. Woodbury Dental Care is a premier dentist for the Minnesota States wild and swarms. Well, they also have Under Armour mouth guards, and they really want to promote those. So they're there on weekends and whatever with their samples and everything else. But they were missing out on the opportunity that they felt they couldn't leave everything there. Well, of course not. You're using Lifetime Fitness's table and skirt, and, you know, really, is it Lifetime Fitness or Woodbury Dental Care? Oh, Lifetime Fitness apparently just got into making mouth guards. Well, this is now what they look like. They're able to leave this up all the time, whether or not their people are there to talk to their members. They can leave their brochures, and it's not on this one, but we actually were able to secure some of their samples, like their mouth guard, to the system so people could actually feel and touch it when their employees weren't there. And they were able to move it into a better location, obviously near the vending machines and entrance and the stairs. So projecting the right image, first and foremost, don't look like everybody else. Honestly, if you want to look like your competitor, you should probably go work for them, because it's going to save you a lot more time and money in the end. Okay? And know what you do best, and just do it. Tell your story with great images and key words. There's nothing worse than, you know, you have 4 seconds. No one's going to be able to read, you know, tiny, you know, words all over a huge banner. You know, pick out those key words. People don't read. We're intrigued by images that we connect with, and it's just those key words. Like I said, your display is only half of your image. It's just something to make people stop for you to then engage with them. And another thing is always think outside that pipe and drape. You know, there's many different places you can take it beyond just a traditional trade show. So you have to know your audience on top of it. Your display is actually for your customer, not for you. So you always have to think about the psychology, because that plays a huge role in how people perceive it. Know why they're there, and then ask yourself why you're at that event. There's a huge difference between being at a trade show versus a fair or an expo that lasts for a couple days. So if you have the flexibility in your marketing display, you're able to adjust. So let's say you're at a trade show, it's a one day, a matter of hours, you're pretty much going to have the consistency of the same audience there. But if you're at a fair or an expo that lasts, let's say Wednesday to Saturday or Sunday, the people who are walking through there on a Wednesday are probably not the same customers who are walking through there on a Friday night or a Saturday. So do you have that ability to change it up, even though you may have both of those customers, or both of those people may be your same customer? Are you attracting, they are attracted to you differently? So aim for flexibility. Have a display that is ready to go at all times. Have a clean and simple message in both your display and your marketing materials. It needs to be consistent, because if you have all different kinds of things, then they're wondering, are you just a jack of all trades or a master of none? And can I really trust you to take good care of me? Be creative. Think outside the traditional forms. My background actually is in industrial design, and I did retail design and visual merchandising for about 15 plus years for shopping centers. So hence the whole shopping center aspect of my talk. But what happens is people would come in, they would bring try to advertise their business on one of the carts in the common area of a shopping center. Well, if you're just going to have something flat and boring and double-sided, I find that's great, and then you lay your business cards and brochures out and fan them out. Invest in a holder and make them mean something. You've invested this money into this material. Shouldn't you aim to try to get something out of it? And then use it more than once. So beyond the trade show, or people who would come in to try to advertise in a shopping center, take your display and be able to use it someplace else. Think of the many B2B people that you network with. There's many different forms of advertising that are coming. If you have to use the table and chairs, take the suggestion and push the table to the back. Don't use the chairs unless it's a really slow time. Stand in front of your table and actually greet people. And greet everybody. Whether they are your customer or not, they may know someone who is. And your first impression to them will carry through word of mouth very quickly if it's not an impressive one. So when you're designing your display, we like to walk our customers through simplifying their message and really focusing on what does set them apart from their competitors. We want to tell their story in less than 4 seconds, and we always tell them that less is really more. A lot of times people are like, oh, but we do these 15 different things, and if we don't put it out there, they're not going to know we offer that. Well, that's part of the engaging process that you need to do with them when they stop or take notice of your booth. That's just part of the whole interaction with people. You don't have to have it all spelled out there. So I really believe that if you invest in 1 or 3 nice quality pieces, being a business card, a brochure, a handout for some maybe promo you have going on, really says a lot more than having so many things listed that you just completely confuse the people and they forget you before they've even walked away. And be consistent in those marketing materials. your display, your business cards, and your brochures should really all have the same message. So your return on investment is very important to me, and it should be to you. When we build displays, we really try to think about those things and helping them have their display to be able to take it places and then it to take them places. So you need to know the right message for the right audience. What is your dominant theme? What do you want to reach? Who do you want to reach and influence? And what is your purpose of being at that event? Because it can change depending upon the event. What type of new business are you looking to attract? Who will be seeing your display? And then again, where can you use it beyond that particular event? So we help our clients get a plan. You know, what do you want people to do once they've seen your display? Do you want them to obviously take your materials, call you, visit your website, or stop at your location? All those things are key in getting a plan down and understanding what it is you want to do. So if you have those issues and those questions, then you really do need to contact a professional that can help you walk through and answer those. And having somebody to really look at it from an outside, like your customer's point of view, changes everything. So I have a test for you. And you can do this tonight when you get home or next week, just any time, and I don't mean days, I mean weeks before your next event. I want you to set up your curtain display and then walk away from it and come back and take a quick glance at it and time yourself for less than 4 seconds. And then ask yourself these questions. Did it make you want to look at it again or closer? Were you intrigued or confused? Those will really tell you, those answers will tell you exactly what your potential customer is actually seeing. So which would you rather be? A confused Woodbury Dental Lifetime Fitness or a self-contained marketing display? Just be inspired. It's your image, and I want you to own it. So thank you.